Welcome to Mysterious Encounters. There is a face that has haunted the Western imagination for nearly 1,000 years. It has been called the devil, the sabbatical goat, the idol of the Templars, the great seal of the occult. Its name is Baphomet. To most, it is the embodiment of evil itself, a grotesque fusion of man, beast, and demon. But what if the symbol we fear today is not the original? What if it was reinvented, rebranded, and weaponized? This is a case file about a god that never was, an idol that never existed, and the terrifying human need to find a face for what we fear. The year is 1307. King Philip IV of France, deeply in debt to the Knights Templar, decides to erase his creditors. He accuses the order of heresy, blasphemy, and worshipping an idol. Under torture, some Templars confess to venerating a mysterious head, sometimes described as a severed head, sometimes a cat, sometimes something called Baphomet. No one knows what that word truly meant, and no physical idol was ever produced. The Templars were burned. Their Grand Master Jacques de Molay cursed the king and the Pope from the flames, and the name Baphomet passed into legend, convicted of a crime without a body. For 500 years Baphomet slept. Then in 1854, a French occultist named Éliphas Lévi drew the image that would define it forever. A winged, goat-headed figure, torch between its horns, one hand pointing up, one hand pointing down. But Lévi did not create a demon, he created a diagram. Every detail symbolized balance. The goat head represented instinct and nature. The torch symbolized illumination. The raised and lowered hands reflected the Hermetic principle, as above, so below. The figure was androgynous, uniting male and female. The pentagram on its forehead was upright, symbolizing spirit over matter. This was not Satan, it was synthesis, a philosophical image of the integrated self, the union of opposites reconciled. But symbols do not control how they are received. In the decades that followed, sensationalist writers distorted the image. They merged it with stories of black masses and devil worship. In the 20th century, modern Satanism adopted a modified version of the goat head. The pentagram was inverted. The tone shifted. The symbol was weaponized. Then came the Satanic Panic of the 1980s. Daycare workers were accused of ritual abuse. Families were torn apart. Fear dominated headlines. And Baphomet became shorthand for evil. No one asked where it came from. No one examined its original meaning. Goat head meant devil. Devil meant threat. And threat justified hysteria. But Baphomet never changed. We did. Every era projects onto it what it fears most. The medieval church saw heresy. The Victorians saw forbidden sexuality. The 1980s saw corruption. Today, some see hidden conspiracies. The image remains the same, which raises the final question. What if Baphomet is not a demon, but a mirror? The figure unites opposites, light and dark, male and female, animal and divine, instinct and intellect. It represents integration, the acceptance of contradiction within the self, and that is deeply unsettling. We are raised on separation, good versus evil, us versus them, body versus soul. Baphomet suggests the divisions are illusions. It is easier to call something the devil than to acknowledge the parts of ourselves we refuse to examine. The Knights Templar were tortured into confessing to worshipping an idol that never existed. Centuries later, we are still reacting to an image we barely understand. The idol was never real. The fear is, and fear when unexamined becomes power in someone else's hands. Baphomet is not waiting in the shadows. It is not summoned in secret rites. It is not the enemy of faith. It is a symbol, a configuration, a shape we give to what we refuse to reconcile within ourselves. The question is not whether Baphomet is evil. The question is why we need it to be. This file is closed, but the mirror remains.